If you're not a do-it-yourselfer and would like something even more exciting to tackle this weekend, consider Palm Springs, California, because there's always something going on there. Correspondent Marty Goldenson was there recently, and he went to the Plaza Theater to hear a showcase of music and dance from the 30s and 40s. But before you start picturing Vegas showgirls, Barbara, you talked to Marty.
Well, yes, this isn't exactly your standard song and dance extravaganza, only because it's performed by people who were around when this music first came out. Actually, when Marty left Los Angeles for this weekend getaway, he had no idea what he was in for.
Well, it's scary for somebody from, the suburbs of the East Coast to get in a car and drive out 100 miles into the desert. You don't know what to expect. You think you're going to die there. But, of course, it turns out it's Palm Springs, and it's beautiful. It's an oasis. It's in this valley. You will die there because you want to retire there because it's so beautiful.
I do know that you went to something called the Follies. I don't know what they are. What are they, and what are they like?
The Fabulous Follies, they're called. This is a show that was started 13 years ago by a retired entertainment producer named Riff Markowitz, who took a look at the shuttered Plaza Theater there, and Riff decided to hire aged performers from age around 60 up to 86 and put together a vaudeville-like show for older audiences.
What exactly is this production like?
First, Riff himself, who started this whole thing and is the MC, comes out on the stage. And he moves wonderfully. He moves like Steve Martin.
Well, any day above ground is a good day. You know who said that? Saddam Hussein.
He's not the only comedy. There are comedy acts. And the best one, I thought, were the Jolly Jovers.
Jolly Jovers?
Yeah, they were Ed Sullivan, I think, around 4 times. They used to open for rock and roll groups all the way around the world.
This dress. I got this dress at a celebrity auction, and the lady told me it was some of Liberace's old underwear. Wasn't I lucky to get it? I'm only kidding. It's not true. It's really a French model.
Ooh la la.
It's by Penier.
Ooh.
J.C. Penier.
She is such a pro.
Her laughter is completely infectious still. She's been doing it for 60 years. And their timing is wonderful.
Well, how about, though, the production values? Dancing, costumes?
Oh, you won't believe. First of all, this is a multi-million-dollar production. They put in $35,000 into each costume. They parade in that old-fashioned, overdone, really sort of a Las Vegas tradition. And they're, high-kicking ex-Rockettes, a lot of them.
It sounds a little bit odd and a little bit surreal.
Yeah, it is, especially odd on the sexy front, because he sort of made his peace with the fact that older people are allowed to be sexy. So they're dressed in sexy outfits, and they all have these, body suits that sort of cover the old lady legs, so they look great. And it takes some getting used to at the beginning, but very quickly you sort of get into it, unless you're too young to get into it.
I am wondering, are there any young people in the audience?
Well, young is completely redefined by this
right,
entire
it's all
place,
relative
right?
At this
Because there are 86-year-olds on the stage. They're sort of discouraged from coming by Riff, actually.
Today is your birthday? Uh-huh. And how old are you, Jeff? 44? My God, this lady's implants are older than that. Jeffy, you come back when you're fully grown, will you?
Implants, always good for a laugh.
Oh, for sure.
You notice that?
Sure.
So how does the whole thing wrap up? How does the show end?
Well, it ends with, Riff basically enjoying the standing ovation and making the standing ovation joke.
Standing ovation. I can't tell you how meaningful that is to a performer to look out and see an audience come to their feet like that, especially this audience.
And he's right. It does take a while for this group to come to their feet.
Well, I'm glad you went. I'm glad you came back. But I'm wondering if you came back somewhat changed.
Yeah, it changed me in the sense that, sometimes when you're in your 50s, as I am, you can feel like, oh, I'm old, because you're very young people are beginning their lives and your kids are growing up, as mine are. And I realized, oh, no, I'm not old. I'm still very young. I could dawdle around for 25 years and then join the Follies.
That's something I'll look forward to. Marty Goldenson is a radio producer and host based in New York City.